Sacred sites shrouded in ancient legends and mysteries. Places which, based on beliefs, are vested with unearthly powers. What did those who built them believe? How did those people see the world and their place in it? A group of scientists from Nazarbayev University, researchers of Kazakhstan National Geographic Society, travelers and writers have embarked on the expedition to pierce into their mysteries. In this episode, who built the Ablaykit complex? What did the 17th century Buddhist temple look like inside? What made the monks leave Ablaykit? The Akol Mazars were the first sacred site that we visited and examined. The mausoleum of Jibek Kazakh is a very interesting place. He was a teacher and a visionary who lived in the 18th century. And after that, it was Semey. This is where the famous 100 years old wooden mosque is located. We met Gulshara Apai, the only information holder about the mosque, who still lives in the deserted village of Akol Aul. Her grandmother on the mother's side was very educated. She could read namaz and the Quran. She was an abastai and enjoyed high religious authority. Ablaykit is the third place of interest for us. Our team also went to the Eastern Kazakhstan Regional Local History Museum, where we found many interesting exhibits.
For
the first time, I read about this monument in the works by Sergei Sergeyevich Chernikov, a famous archaeologist. In the late 30s, when Chernikov and his team went there, they found several pieces of birch bark. He donated one of them to our museum together with several ornamented bricks and tile fragments. On the premises of Ablaykit, they found multiple bronze figurines. Some of them were Buddhist, some originated from Europe and allegedly ended up there as trade objects. Once Buddhism was present and distributed on Kazakhstan's territory. For me personally, it's rather interesting to see the limits of its distribution and understand the reasons for its spread. Ablaykit is a Buddhist monastery and a Jungarian fortification of the 17th century. The road there was quite difficult. We crossed several floods. One of our vehicles even got stuck and we had to pull it. The monastery was built in 1654. As a rule, each monastery enjoyed political, financial and military support on behalf of a powerful aristocracy representative. Ablaykit was built on the initiative and with direct support of Ablaykit, who nomadized in the vicinity. He had his yurts here. Allegedly, in 1654, a group of workers was dispatched here from China to build the monastery. Back then, it represented quite an impressive and massive building. In peacetime, the monastery served as monastery, and in wartime it turned into a very well fortified facility where local Dzungars hid from other Dzungarian groups confronting them.
Таких же противоборствующих им джунгарских групп есть, естественно,
Naturally, there were monk cells here where they lived, cooked their food and meditated. They were located directly near the Eastern Gate. The Eastern Gate was used on daily basis by visitors and monks themselves. The Southern Gate was used for ceremonial purposes and was opened only in case of arrival of an important person, patron or renowned monk.
Какой-нибудь важной церемонии или прибытие там патрона, прибытие какого-нибудь крупного монаха. При входе в храм мы сразу видели.
Upon entering the temple, a visitor would immediately see two rows of monks sitting facing each other, who would gather for a daily morning service. The entrance was classical for Buddhist monasteries and faced the south. It overlooked a really nice landscape with a bald mountain. And this is the Southern Gate. It had very rich ornamented decoration. As a ruler was guarded by Shi-tzi, Chinese lions, symbolizing the site's protection.
Ну, тоже такой символ, да, защиты монастыря. Тибетская буддийская культура, она достаточно сурова, в ней нет того такого супер.
Buddhist culture is rather rough. It lacks the super-aestheticism of the Far East culture, Zen Buddhist culture or Chan Buddhist culture. As a rule, everything was very simple. Rectangular shapes, rather massive columns, walls and roof. There could be a big pavilion or a veranda here. The cathedral temple itself was probably located over there. It probably had large column footings. Using our imagination, we can picture how it all looked. It must have been very impressive.
Выглядеть это должно было очень впечатляюще. В конце 17 века
In the late 17th century, with the rise of the Dzungar Khanate of Galdan Boshoktar Khan to the political Olympus, the monastery ceased to exist. It was attacked by the troops of Galdan Boshoktar, who was in hostile relations with Ablay. The latter lost in that fight, but Galdan didn't destroy the monastery because he was also a former monk and of course couldn't encroach on the shrine.
Монахом и, конечно, посягнуть на святыню не мог. Сейчас здесь ведутся активные.
The site is undergoing active excavation. Scientists around the world hope that this work will bring some finds. Perhaps a storeroom with hidden away books. It would have been a world-level scientific sensation.
Мировой научной сенсации.